Lucy sat in a short-term rental apartment, glancing anxiously at her phone. Time dragged painfully, each passing second amplifying the weight in her chest. Her heart thumped louder with every tick of the clock. Travis was late, and unease grew like a storm within her. The longer she waited, the more her thoughts spiraled. Something awful felt imminent. She shook her head, trying to dismiss her fears. "It's fine," she whispered to herself. But when her phone finally rang, she jolted. Kevin. Her husband's name flashed on the screen. Exhaling sharply, Lucy answered, forcing composure into her voice. "Yes, babe. I'm here." Kevin's cheerful tone echoed through the line. "Lucy, where are you?" Her breath caught for a moment, then she stammered, I'm at the movies." "With who?" "A secret boyfriend," he teased. The joke struck her like a jab. Laughing nervously, she replied, "Are you insane?" "I told you, I'm with Stacy." All right," Kevin said lightly, though a hint of doubt lingered in his voice. "But it's awfully quiet for a movie theater." Lucy's pulse quickened, but she mastered tension. "I ducked into the restroom, and here you are, messing with me. All good." "No offense," he chuckled. "So, when are you coming home?" "I was thinking about ordering sushi, a family-size platter for both of us." Her mind raced. "I might be back in 3 hours, but I'll probably crash at Stacy's after the film. She's new in town and needs company." Kevin sighed, audibly doubtful. "Fine. Enjoy your romantic movie." Lucy forced a bright tone. "Kevin, don't be salty. You hate romantic flicks. I'll be back tomorrow, and we'll spend the whole weekend together. Promise. Love you." Before he could respond, she hung up, letting out a shaky breath. Kevin's playful tone had carried an undercurrent of suspicion, but she brushed it off. Clever and composed, Lucy told herself there was no way he'd suspect the truth. The doorbell rang, jolting her again. She quickly smoothed her hair and dress, opening the door to find Travis, slightly breathless but smiling. "What took you so long?" she demanded, a mix of relief and irritation in her voice. "Had some urgent stuff," he said, stepping inside with a grin. "All handled now." Lucy rolled her eyes, but couldn't ignore the gnawing sense of foreboding that lingered in the air. Yet, when Travis scooped her into his arms and whispered, "I missed you like crazy," the tension melted away. Their kiss deepened, filled with unspoken longing. For a brief moment, the world outside ceased to exist. It was just the two of them, reclaiming lost moments. Later, as they lay together, Lucy's gaze wandered to the clock. Time flew, yet leaving felt impossible. "Got to run already?" Travis teased, noting her anxious look. Lucy laughed lightly. "My husband's paranoid, but I've got it handled. I'm staying the night." Travis's eyes lit up. "We should take a trip, just you and me. A beach, a few days away from everything." Lucy closed her eyes, imagining the golden sand and endless waves. "That would be heaven," she murmured. But heaven quickly turned to chaos. When the doorbell rang again, Lucy frowned. "That was fast." "Probably the pizza," Travis joked, slipping on his boxers. But when he opened the door, he froze. A woman stood there, her stare icy and unwavering. "Paula, well, Travis, aren't you going to invite me in?" she said, her voice deadly calm. Lucy started the car and sped home, her mind consumed with fury. The engine roared, mirroring the storm inside her as she stormed into her apartment. She didn't care what Kevin would think about her appearance. Her rage eclipsed everything else. Kevin was sitting calmly on the couch, eating sushi and sipping a cold beer while scrolling through social media. When Lucy burst through the door, he nearly choked on a roll. "Hey, Lucy, you're back. How'd you like the movie?" he asked, trying to suppress a laugh. But his grin faltered when he noticed the black smear on her face. "Let me guess, Zorro in 3D? Or is this a new style?" "Lucy, rummaging for clothes and wipes, was breathless with anger. She muttered under her breath about punks and teenage hoodlums, frantically trying to wipe off the paint while changing into sportswear. The scene was half tragic, half comical. Kevin, savoring the moment, added with mock seriousness, "You look like aliens marked you for abduction." "Shut up, Kevin," Lucy roared, rubbing at the blotch with cotton pads, soaked in whatever cleaning supplies she could find. The paint smeared, making it worse. Kevin stifled his laughter, his eyes glinting with amusement. "Hey, calm down. Maybe I can help. A tip." Lucy, at her limit, barked, "Shut it with your stupid jokes. None of this is funny." Kevin shrugged nonchalantly and wandered toward the window. His eyes widened as he noticed a bold scrawl on Lucy's red car under the streetlight. He chuckled, turning back to her. "So, you gave your car a name? A bit rude, though." "Damn it, Kevin," Lucy snapped, rummaging through a cabinet. "Quit babbling and help me find your stun gun." Kevin observed her with faint amusement, his mind drifting back to the twisted satisfaction he felt. He'd wanted to see her reaction, and now he was getting far more than he'd expected. Finally, he spoke up. "So, you plan on heading back for round 2? "Hell yes," Lucy shouted, retrieving the taser, its battery mostly dead. "You have no idea how furious I am." Kevin sighed dramatically, like he pitied her. "Lucy, it's not worth it. By the way, Travis has multiple side chicks. I wonder if you're number 1 or number 2. Lucy froze, her face going pale. "That jerk," she hissed. "He'll get his 2. Then the realization sank in. She stared at Kevin, her voice trembling with fury and confusion. "Wait, how do you even know this? What's going on?" Kevin, completely unruffled, explained with a nonchalant shrug. "You thought I was clueless? I used to do investigations for a living. I kept some old contacts. Got a tip. Didn't think your little fiasco would be so entertaining, but apparently you put on quite a show tonight." Lucy was reeling, her mind spinning. "So you arranged for that psycho wife of his to come sabotage me?" Kevin just shrugged. "I called you, asked where you were. You lied about the movie. So I let you enjoy your own consequences." His voice had a mocking edge to it. Lucy looked stricken, her face a mix of shame and indignation. "No need for me to show up. Sometimes it's best to let others do the dirty work." Tears welled in her eyes as humiliation engulfed her. The entire night's chaos spiraled through her, making her feel small and crumpled. Kevin observed her with cool indifference, his expression unchanged. "Don't start bawling. If you're hungry, have some sushi." "Oops, I only got enough for 1. Maybe you want some leftover beer." His smirk deepened as he gestured to his half-finished can. "Stay the night if you want, but pack up by morning." "I'm over it. You wanted to fool around with other men? Should have stayed single." Lucy erupted into fresh sobs, accusing him of cruelty, but Kevin just gave her a bored shrug. He'd learned everything he needed to. Turning away as if dismissing an uninteresting play, he said, "I'm crashing at my buddy's. I'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully, I won't find your lying face here. I have no interest in hearing your hysterics. You wanted another guy? Fine, just not in my home." Without waiting for a response, he grabbed his keys and left, not looking back. Lucy sank to the floor, tears streaming down her face, feeling like her world had imploded for good.